Hello everyone, welcome to the video. So in this video, I'm going to be going through a full walkthrough of what I did exactly to restore my 2000 Jeep Cherokee XJ's roof. As you can see right here, all the rivets were rusted out, so I wanted to redo those, take them all out, and just the whole roof in general was not looking too pretty. So this is what it's going to turn into at the end of this. I hope this video is useful to you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe as well. I'm going to be posting videos on everything that I'm working on this Cherokee in the future. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So the first step for me was to get this light bar out of the way. I didn't want to unwire it or anything, so I just kind of wrapped it in bubble wrap and put it on my windshield. That just worked for me. Obviously you can take off whatever's on your roof however you want, but that's what I chose to do. Okay, so once I took the light bar off, that's what the roof looked like. As you can see there right at the front of the windshield, I actually brought that to the shop and I got them to repair the rust underneath the windshield for me because I have no idea how to take off the windshield and all that. I didn't want to end up breaking it. Now it just costs a lot more money. So I just got them to do that for me, and then I knew I could do the rest on my own. So the next step was to take off these trim pieces that are just stuck on with 3M at the top. I tried using Varsol at the beginning to get them off, and it was working, but it was just taking a long time. So I ended up using this angle grinder wheel that I bought. I bought them specifically to take the rust off. You'll see later on in the video, but it was actually working well with this 3M stuff too, and it was going a lot faster. So I'll make sure I leave all the stuff I use in this video in the description just so you guys can check it out as well. So here's a quick little comparison between the disc that I used and then just a brand new one, just to show how much of the actual disc I used for that 3M. They're pretty durable, I will say. I'm fairly certain I only used 2 for the whole project, and the pack I got on Amazon comes with 4. So this was the most satisfying part of the whole thing here. This big clump of rust here. It was right at the back or in the center of the roof. I don't know why that is. Just taking out that rust, getting down to bare metal. That almost went all the way through, which was what I was really worried about. But as you can see here, I ended up having a pretty bad spot in the back right, where it did actually go through. Luckily there were 2 layers of sheet metal, I guess, there, but I ended up just patching up with some Bondo. I'm sure I'll show you. But here's the final product of everything that I kind of removed. It was mainly surface rust. But yeah, I was really satisfied with how everything turned out. So here's just me cleaning out the area where I want to put the Bondo, just because I saw a video saying that it should be bare metal. And then this is the view of me removing the old rivets. So if you just grind down the top of the rivet sticking out of the roof, the bottom will just fall out. So I just put a pair of vice grips there to grab them so they don't get caught in between and just rattle in the future, because that would just be annoying. So I ended up removing the 8 rivets. I was gonna initially just leave the 6 that were good, but I figured I'm redoing this. I might as well just do all of them once and not have to worry about it ever again. So yeah, I just removed all 8, cleaned up the holes with a 1/4 inch bit, and that was that. So this was the final step before I started to actually put stuff onto the roof. So basically just me using an orbital sander, palm sander, whatever you want to call it. I started with 80 grit just to get that clear coat really off, so I know for sure. You can obviously tell it's working just because of how you can see that white color, it's off pretty well. And then once that was done, I vacuumed it all up. And I did it again with, I think it was 100 grit or 120, I'm not sure. But once I got smooth enough to my liking, I wiped it down with acetone. And as you can see here, I started putting up the plastic wrap. I might have went a bit overboard with the plastic wrap and tape, but it was my first time doing this, so I didn't really want to take any risks. Especially with overspray, you're better safe than sorry, I think. And it's not like I can't just reuse this plastic wrap for a project down the road, so I wasn't too worried about it. Alright, so here's what it looked like after all the sanding and prepping was done. I ended up taping underneath the, whatever you want to call that, the water trench, whatever you want to call that. I'm not sure what it's called exactly, but I ended up going underneath it just so I can wrap all the way around. And then went all the way to the back. I still got to fill that with Bondo too, which I'm sure I'll show you in a second. So the next step was to use this rust converter everywhere where I grind it down to bare metal, basically. I'm not completely sure I had to do this because I put 2 coats of primer, but I think just as another layer of protection, it didn't hurt at all. So once again, I wiped down the roof with acetone just to make sure all the dust was off of it, and then I sprayed this stuff on. So the next step was to work on this Bondo. So these are all the products I used. I'll link them down in the description as well for you guys. first step to this Bondo was to this mesh inside. So one side was sticky, so it was actually pretty easy. Once I put it into the hole, I just kind of lifted it, and it stuck to the metal that I wanted it to stick to, which was pretty nice. I didn't actually time-lapse this part just because I wanted to show you how fast it actually took to do this part. So as you can see right here, I just used that screw to shove it in the mesh, and then I kind of pull it up so it sticks to the top. When you're dealing with Bondo, you have to make sure you have all the ratios correct with the actual Bondo itself and the hardener. So the I referenced to make sure everything was right was a video by ChrisFix. I'll put that in the description just to help you guys out as well, because it helped me a lot. So once I waited a few minutes for it to dry, I took my sanding block and kind of sanded it down until it looked like there was no hole there. I ended up putting another coat just because I wasn't too happy with the layer that I had on there. So as you can see now, I'm actually putting pieces of tape inside the holes where the rivets are going, just so when I put down the primer, nothing would get inside my actual car. So this is how the first coat turned out. Obviously, I put another one on there because you can actually see there's still a few divots where I went kind of light with the paint. So I ended up doing a second coat, and then after that I put it on the Herculiner. Alright, so the next step was the bed liner and the rivets. So obviously it's in the description, but this is the stuff that I used. So in the box they give you a scrubber to scrub down the paint before you put the actual coat on. So that's what I'm doing here right now. So for the rivets I used, they were 3/4 inch, quarter by 20 thread, I think, were the screws. I don't know, I'll put it in the description. I got a whole pack on Amazon. It was actually a lot easier and really satisfying to put these on. I expected them to cause me some trouble, but so for the actual coating on the Herculiner, I left the screws a little bit unscrewed like that, just so after I was finished putting the Herculiner on, I would unscrew those and put on different screws just so nothing gets into the thread inside the actual rivet itself. So in the box, they give you a brush for the nooks and crannies. So that's basically exactly what I did here. I just went around the outside, and then I did around the rivets as well. And then obviously using the foam roller that they provide in the box, I use that for the rest of the roof. So this is what it looks like after the first coat. I don't think I recorded after the second coat, but once I did the second coat, it actually looked a lot better than it does now, even though right now it still does look very good, I think. So you can see with this video, I left the screws like that, so when I unscrew them, it brings out all the gunk that could have seeped into the actual threads themselves, and then I just replace them with new screws. So I don't remember actually recording this, but apparently I did. I ended up buying the JCR Adventure Roof Rack from them. It was a fairly simple install, so what you see here is I'm just cutting the weather stripping that they give you all the way across the front, and then they actually give you enough to put a little bit at the back as well, and that's exactly what I'm showing you right here. And then you just put it on, and basically I got my dad to help me put the roof rack onto the roof, and it just fit in right into place. Like, it was obviously the roof rack is built for the XJ, so it turned out really well, and there it is, final product. On the website it says that you can't use a double bar light bar like mine. You have to use a one row like LED, but it actually worked out. There's about ½ an inch clearance underneath my light bar, so it just fit. So that pretty much sums up this video. I'm really happy with how this all turned out. I ran into little to no problems, which was very unexpected. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I hope you can use it to reference when you're working on your XJ, if you have to get your roof done or something. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. I really hope this video was helpful to you. I haven't seen a video on YouTube really covering something like this for the XJ, so hopefully it's a first. Hopefully you guys stumble across this and find it useful. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a future video maybe, who knows.